Welcome to section 11.8. This is the 110th session of the CISSP exam prep series. In this session, we'll examine a small protocol with an outsized security impact. We'll answer several questions. What does the address resolution protocol actually do? How is its cache poisoned? What is the unsolicited variety of that attack? Can static entries be both a weapon and a shield? And what is the strongest defense? Why does this matter beyond the exam? Because this protocol operates on your local segment with no built-in authentication, which makes it a favorite for interception on the inside. Imagine an attacker who already has a foothold on your network, quietly positioning themselves between two machines to read the traffic flowing between them. This protocol is often how they do it. Understanding the attack is the first step to catching it. So, what does this protocol actually do? It bridges logical and physical addressing. It resolves an IP address into the hardware address that traffic on a local segment actually uses to reach a machine. It works by caching and broadcasting. A device first checks its local cache for the mapping. If it is missing, the device broadcasts a request, and the owner of that address answers with its hardware address, which then gets cached. Think of shouting a name across a room and letting the right person raise their hand so you know where to hand the note. How is its cache poisoned? By an attacker sending falsified replies. Because a device updates its cache with whatever reply it receives, an attacker can simply answer with a lie, mapping a victim's IP address to the attacker's own hardware address. Traffic then flows to the attacker instead of the real destination. A poisoned entry lingers until it times out, usually within a few minutes, and when the victim broadcasts again, the attacker gets a fresh chance to lie. It is like slipping a false forwarding note into the mail room, so mail meant for one desk quietly lands on yours. What is the unsolicited variety of this attack? It is the gratuitous reply sent with no request behind it. Normally, a reply answers a query, but a device can also announce its mapping unprompted. That announcement has legitimate uses, such as announcing a device's presence or supporting reliable failover between redundant devices, but an attacker can abuse it, broadcasting false, unsolicited mappings to poison caches without waiting to be asked. Picture someone walking through an office, loudly redirecting deliveries to their own desk, whether or not anyone requested the update. Can static entries be both a weapon and a shield? Yes, and that dual nature is worth remembering. A third form of poisoning creates static entries locally, which is easily done through a malicious script on the client, though such entries do not survive a reboot. But you can also flip static entries into a defense. A manually fixed mapping will not be overwritten by any incoming reply. The catch is that static entries remove the flexibility a network needs as devices come and go. And because they vanish on reboot, you would need a script to rebuild them each time. So the same technique defends and attacks depending on who sets it and why. What is the strongest defense? Controlling the switch. The best protection is port security on the switch, which can block communication from unknown or rogue devices and detect a system that is answering every request. Beyond that, a local or host-based firewall, a host intrusion detection and prevention system, or dedicated endpoint tools can block unrequested replies and announcements. Purpose-built monitoring tools also exist to watch for this exact abuse. Layer these together, lock the switch ports first, then add host-level detection so a lie on the wire gets caught, even if it slips past. So let's bring it together. This protocol resolves IP addresses into hardware addresses using caching and broadcasting, with no authentication to vouch for the answers. That gap lets an attacker poison a cache with falsified replies, redirecting traffic to themselves. The unsolicited, gratuitous reply does the same without even waiting for a query. Static entries cut both ways, serving as an attack or a rigid defense. And the strongest countermeasure is switch port security, backed by host-based detection. Watch this quiet protocol closely, because it is often where insider interception begins. The MCQs covering all the topics and concepts from this session are available on rucloud.com. Practice the chapter-specific MCQs before moving on to the next session. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, post a comment below or email us. I will see you in the next session.